should know it, shouldn't I? You know it, Tanya?
I don't.
Is it, hold on, give us a, Godzilla. Only because he cheated and he gave me the walk-in kind of whatever. And I hear it's kind of exceeded expectations.
Yes. It's like huge. It's almost, $99 million as of today. So I'm sure it'll do even bigger numbers this weekend. I think it'll be number one again this weekend.
What do you think is attributing to that?
I didn't realize until this one came out what a following these movies have. Just like we talk a lot about the Marvel universe here, well, there's also that universe with Godzilla and King Kong and those creatures.
The Monsterverse.
Yes.
Just a little while ago, there was the one, though, that was an ode to something, and they really didn't think it would do good, but it got, like, groundswell in the trenches.
Yeah, Godzilla plus one. Godzilla minus one.
You know what? There could be plus one, depending on how it ended for him.
That's the sequel. But actually, this week, the Critics' Choice Association had their Super Awards, where they honor films that in the action genre, superhero, sci-fi, that kind of stuff that sometimes gets kind of overlooked come Oscar time. Not always, but sometimes. And Godzilla Minus One actually won Best Science Fiction Fantasy Movie, and Godzilla won Best Villain in a Movie. So that just happened yesterday. And then, of course, we've got Godzilla Kong, the New Empire. And everybody is saying, of course, like we were just saying, it's done so well at the box office. And it's getting generally really good reviews. I've not seen it yet. But they're saying Godzilla Minus One is the better of the two. So
there you go.
But yeah, so this Monsterverse that is new to me, just because this has just never been my thing, is huge. And so they had, this is like the fifth film in this new kind of reboot / franchise going on with these characters. And in this one, you've got Godzilla. Wait, help me out right now. I may be getting them mixed up. One is living inside the earth and the other and taking care of things, and the other is outside.
I'm just glad you asked him and not me.
And they have to join forces to protect the earth from a bad guy, from their Thanos, I suppose. They have to join forces. But it is PG-13 for the usual. I would assume this one has several of the same cast members as the one before that was also a huge surprise hit. They released it right in the middle of COVID, and it was one of those that streamed and just did really well. I think it was like the most pirated movie of that year because people loved it so much. And anyway, I think everyone was really surprised at how well it did, and so plans, of course, immediately came in place to make the one that's out now. And because this one's doing so well, they're saying we'll see more. So
this excites me. Rhino, is this one you would go see?
Oh, yeah.
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 Do they ever stream?
Yeah.
But I guess if you do enjoy it, though, this would be one you'd want to see on a big screen if you had the opportunity.
Yeah, I would think so. I would
you're
think
into
the
it, if you're
special
that into
effects are really good. And yeah, and again, if you've seen the one before, you're going to like this one too.
A little lizard's not on your screen is not as fun
not
as
as scary.
Not as fun as the big lizard.
Yeah. But your other options, if you want to go to the theater this weekend, if you've already seen Godzilla, and it's Godzilla X Kong, but the filmmaker is saying the X is silent. So go figure. Yeah. But the first Omen, the latest, we have a new nun, possessed nun every weekend. Immaculate is still out there that is about a nun, and this one is the first Omen. So this is sort of, when I was a kid, I remember the Omen being a movie, and this is that same, it's almost like a reboot of that scary, creepy franchise, but this one is definitely rated R, horror, runs about 2 hours. So if that's your kind of thing, between this one, the first Omen, and Immaculate, people are saying Immaculate's the better of the two. It's got a little more star power, but they said this is a great way to enter the Omen franchise if you're into that. So just yeah.
No.
And then the other one,
Not a good date night movie. by the way.
no,
Not a first date anyway.
is Monkey Man. This one is also rated R, so not a whole lot of new family options out there. But it is about a guy. What interests me about this one, Dev Patel is the star. He co-wrote it and directed this movie, and he's the guy that kind of came on the scene with Slumdog Millionaire. Seems like that was forever ago, but that's when I first saw him, and he's done several movies since that have been great. One of my favorites was Lion that he was in, but he is a kid who is doing the underground fight club circuit to make money. And at some point, everything kind of gets taken from him, and he spends years and years building up anger and plotting his revenge on the people that did him wrong. So this one's definitely a violent, gritty kind of movie. So you have to like those kind of movies.
Have you seen any of these?
I have not. I have not seen either one of those. So
I don't blame you.
yeah. And so that's really it for new releases this weekend. Ghostbusters is still hanging in there. It was number 2 last weekend. It's done respectable, 78 million, and I'm sure it'll build this weekend. But number 3, Kung Fu Panda, and then Dune is already up to 256 million. And people are going to see this one twice, which blows my mind because it's
long.
a great movie, but it's so long. That people are super dedicated to go see it twice.
Well, I guess they want to grab another option or another opportunity to see it before it goes off the big screen because won't be this. Worms aren't little worms versus big worms.
Yeah, not nearly as dynamic.
And then
at home.
some I hear had saw it not in IMAX the first time.
Yeah.
And they are going back to watch it what is the difference in that? It's like, why is it a better option for those type of movies?
Yeah, the technical side, I think it's just a different camera or different type of film on IMAX, but the IMAX screen is just so big.
So it's the screen size.
Yeah.
It's the size of the film itself.
Yeah. And a lot of the IMAX screens have the curve at the end, so it's like you're in it, almost, as opposed to... It makes it a little more three-dimensional.
The ticket price is a little higher, isn't it?
Yeah, they charge a couple of extra bucks, which, for a movie like that, it's well worth it.
That's what I think a lot of folks who would have gone back and saw it anyway, they're going back if they didn't see it in IMAX, they're going back for that opportunity to see it because now they believe that it's worth
it's for
worth
sure.
going out and doing.
To me, they went a little crazy with IMAX releases, probably, I don't know, before the pandemic, like maybe in the last 8 or 10 years, it was like almost every other movie. And I always felt like it was kind of a waste of money. But there are certain movies that the IMAX is definitely the way to go. This is one of them. Anything with Tom Cruise, go see it in IMAX. Because anything with like really great action.
Any good streaming movies?
The Mean Girls, the new Mean Girls the musical is already streaming on Paramount Plus, so that's one to check out for sure. I couldn't believe when I turned my TV on a couple of weeks ago and it was already there because I had just seen it in the theater. It felt like a week or two before, so that's a really good one to check out.
I watched on Netflix. I don't know if it's a Netflix movie or if it's whatever, but Mend the Line, and it's a heartwarming, family friendly. It is about marine veterans, a young one and an older one, and there's fly fishing involved to help restore after PTSD, all the things. So you can see how it was really
good.
Sweet, really well done. Cry at the end, so
yeah.
If you know what I mean, but for the right reasons. And so if you're looking for one that tugs at the heart, but also is good for the whole family, Mend the Line on Netflix. I don't know if it was an actual movie or if it's a Netflix sort of movie.
That sounds so good.
And I'll have to say the Lindsay Lohan was cute.
I thought it was cute.
Can't remember the name of it. Irish Wish. If you like, as my mom would call them, Kiss Me Darlings. Mm-hmm. You know exactly how it's going to end before it ever starts.
Yeah, to me it was like a half step up above a Hallmark movie, but... You cannot deny that Lindsay is a fantastic actress.
Correct.
She is so good.
And it was, again, it's probably not for the men, but if the girls, if you're looking for something to just sort of chill out and watch and makes you smile, both of those would be good recommendations on Netflix. So, all righty. Thank you, Tanya. You guys stick with us. We got more for you coming up next.